And welcome back to Milestone 1. We're just talking about this game where we were learning that Rune has no emotions. So we're gonna just hit next. Is that all true? Rudo? A few months after that, Rune was able to mingle with her peers in the academy without incident. Despite all that Albus said, nothing out of the ordinary took place. We continued to live our peaceful lives. We were still worried about Grunquill's incident, but most seemed to have already forgotten about it. Ever since the incident, Rune had always been homeschooled, though there were many who didn't even know the Zevites had a daughter. Rune's sociable behavior, she quickly became a popular student in the academy. She made many friends there. Perhaps because of her home tutor, she had been very strict, it seemed as if her classes were a little too easy. Our anxieties that all born from Albus' conjecture also ceased. All of her peaceful life went on as usual until one day, when I came across Rune on our way back home from the academy, leading deep into the area of the park where most people normally don't enter. What should be doing going that far in, I wondered. Fiercely getting the better of me, I sunk inside as I got closer. I could hear the dying cries of an animal. What animal exactly, I wasn't sure. It wretched its last screams were. No, it can't be. I ran towards where Rune was. What the? Oh no, it looks like I've been found. Since when have you been following me? Could you be stalking me, perhaps? What are you doing? Well, I suppose whether I found out otherwise, it doesn't really matter. But you know, what people know is such a pain. Right, Rudo? The tone of her voice suddenly changed. Answer me, Rune. What have you... No, it didn't change. What? It occurred to me how cunning she was, and that she didn't change one bit. What are you? Who knows? But seeing as I have no emotions, then I suppose I'm not human, at least. She knew? The theory was only known between Father Albus and myself. How did she find out? What did she find out? Here's your reward for finding my secret out. An explanation from my dear oblivious big brother. Rune cannot seem to grasp the situation. The only time I feel emotion is when something which has been so full of life meets its demise. When I take away the happiness of anyone, when a person dies, when years of precious memories and love all crumble away in a single moment. Do you understand? I take pleasure in observing the loss of others. That day, seeing that he is twitching and spasming unsightly way things sometimes cling to light so desperately, the very moment turns me into a mere lump of flesh, truly resonates with the emptiness inside me. The moment I saw Rune fake smile, I thought myself with conviction. Living beings are truly well-oiled machines. Cannot possibly let this thing grow into maturity. That night I spoke to her parents about Rune, but they didn't take me seriously. They needed concrete evidence to shatter the illusion she had built up those past 6 years. Please, just go along with her, Rudo. You're her older brothers, so look after her. So, my mother said. Every single day didn't feel like living. My doubts weren't wrong in the slightest. If my eyes were off for just a moment, who knows what she could do. Grown in wisdom, I doubted there were any more sudden outbursts like the Growlquell's incident, or whatever she was going to do next. I was going to be planning an uncalculated incident. I left from day to day constantly preparing myself for the worst. For a while, I started to probe into her actions and routine. I even asked local peacekeepers. When I asked about any particular incidents. I couldn't believe what they told me. Dead animals? That ain't news anymore. These past few years, numerous reports of corpses of small animals spotted murdered. Because it's all because some sort of planned implement used to mutilate a body was clearly a human who was responsible. The disgusted acts continued to increase. I was told to report anything suspicious as soon as possible. I wasn't at a loss of what to do. Do I turn Rune in? Right now? Without a single shred of proof? Merely claiming to have seen her do it is paper-thin evidence. No, more than that, I imagined Mother's face. I just couldn't bring myself to report Rune. I had to stop Rune. I can't allow my mother to experience any more pain or suffering. That day onward, I had to do something about it myself. Whenever possible, I always kept Rune on a tight leash. I've noticed you've been playing extra special attention to me recently, brother. I'm so happy. It's each and every day by hearing Rune's emotionless words, as more and more convinced. Rune had continued to observe everyone around her, creating a facade, or to gain her freedom and our trust. And that? No, I'm getting tired of this. She's truly planning something. Several weeks later, Mother had collapsed. The tea Mother drank was discovered to have contained a poisonous man-infused substance called Process 1. However, luckily, due to her weak body, her body had rejected the man before her body had taken the lethal amount. She managed to escape with her life, at least for the time being. Upon being informed, the peacekeepers conducted a formal investigation. At the same time, Rune disappeared from the residence. A few days later, it came to light that Rune had snuck into the Zevite's medical drug stockroom and stolen enough progress one to kill over 10 people. Several days after that, several top executives of the company beyond the outer pole, in which Zevite was foreign partnerships, were found dead, poisoned by Process 1. Negotiations between the outer pole and the second sector were immediately cut, and the plans for expansion that my father had been working on for 4 years were all scrapped. The gear blew to the Zevite's companies. The next day, a cargo ship down in the port nearby and unloaded Rune's corpse. An autopsy was conducted. Her results showed a huge amount of colored mana inside her body. Her death was caused by acute mana shock. Anyone from the outer pole who goes beyond its border will die from mana shock. Even a child would know this. Hence, it was hard to believe that Rune could have tried to leave on her own intent. Eventually, it was declared a cold case. What was Rune trying to accomplish? Was her death an accident? It dawned on me the whole time, but I realized eventually. Mother's spirit finally broke, and she refused to eat anything. Several months later, she passed away due to wasting away. My father could no longer speak right. He confined himself to his laboratory. The Zevite family was ruined. No, it had long been ruined. The moment Rune was born into this world. Yes, these 6 years of peace since Rockwell's incident were nothing but a sham. Rune's death was not an accident. It was like destroying a carefully stacked house of cards in an instant for her. Her suicide was a calculated move in order to deal with the greatest possible blow to the Zevites. There must have been no other reason. In order to destroy, she had destroyed herself. That was Rune in a nutshell. Wow, that was fucked up. You guys are with me, right? That was kind of fucked up. Okay. Excuse me, will you happen to be Albus? And you are? Sarah's a friend. Friends? Fortunately, I have to inform you that Sarah doesn't have any friends. Perhaps you've misunderstood. Again with this. Beating around the bush isn't gonna help. Let's get straight to the point. We're travelers. We arrived in the city, we're completely clueless. Sarah was extremely hospitable and accommodating to us. We are incredibly grateful to her. However, it seems her goodwill worked against her, as I hear she's been punished for her actions. Later, the Zevite organization that you work for is apparently going to take measures against her. I've heard this from Rune, so isn't that what you... Please, we could speak with you even just for a moment. Sorry, but we have our own issues to deal with as well. If you come with me with all that in mind, this isn't a matter that can be taken lightly. About Sarah, when we first met, she introduced herself to us as Rune. What? What did you just say? Although Spirit is going to change the instant, since anyone deeply connected with quite the reaction to the name Rune. Now we just need one more push. Promise you, if this is a matter of concern, I will not press any further. I understand it's incredibly presumptuous of me, but I simply want to confirm a few things and seek to have a discussion with you. Shall we take this elsewhere then? Yes. Our lodging is just on the outskirts of town. Is that alright with you? Just the two of you? Yeah, we'll have it. Don't you feel bringing a man back to your lodging this time will be nice? Rather careless? Careless? What makes you say that? And what does being a man or a woman have to do with anything? I suppose it could be chalked up to cultural differences. Regardless, the answer is no. If you want to talk, let's do it in the park in the central square. This time of day there are still people around. I'm sure you're not quieter than this place. Please, go ahead. I'll leave as soon as I settle the bill. What's with his attitude? Stuffy? What's the matter? I have that feeling that this place culture men are so predominantly in a position of power. Huh? That can't be. Considering how much their civilization has progressed, it's rather hard to believe. You never know. Without any crab bait, then a normal girl can't really beat a guy in a fight. It was like that before too, right? Male-centric society, where brute force means everything? Just how long ago was that? Still doesn't explain his initial demeanor. I can't quite tell if this city is progressing or regressing. Is something on your mind? No, I just thought that it's kind of scary if that was the case. Violent crimes, though seldom, still occur in Zulpenheim, but ones born from sexism are just about non-existent. That is true, but even when things as simple had to be explained and understood, do you think we could ever understand each other? You do have a point. However, if we become fearful from that, the name Zulpenheim will be tarnished. As long as there's no major obstacles between us, I'm sure we can try to reach a mutual understanding. Yeah, I know. Let's go to the park and talk to Albus. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. By the way, who advised you to talk to me about all this? Oh, I was sure run down of the fence till this point. Oh, it hurts, eh? Is he doing well? Doing well, I suppose he is. If you weren't, he could possibly be able to down that much alcohol. I see, that's just like him. If I may presume, does it mean it's been a while since you've last met? Yes, it's been quite a while. Let's just say things happened. In any case, why don't we introduce ourselves properly? My name is Albus Fulster. I serve the CTO of Zevite's Enterprises. I'm Ratona, a traveler. I'm Selfin, Ratona's fellow traveler companion. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. Excuse me, I have unrelated question that I was hoping you could answer. It's odd I made since yesterday. You mentioned some sort of title, but I'm not quite sure I understand what it means. Rudo also mentioned something similar. Ah, CTO. It's short for Chief Technological Officer. You can think of it as the person in charge of technical side of things. I see, I think. Rune is CEO and Chief Executive Officer. In other words, he's the topmost position of Zevite's Enterprises. Wow. That's a lot easier to understand. seems the title serves its position when introducing oneself. Chief Executive, so basically like the president? Technically, not quite. Well, there's a nuance, it's the same. I see. I take it in your home country you don't have entities such as corporations. Wait a minute. Do forgive me for commenting, but if I'm not mistaken, you appear much older than those effects. So how is it he is allowed to wield absolute authority? You're straight to the point, aren't you? Well, you are the point. Rudo is a mere 22 years of age after all. 22? 3 years apart from me. Like 3 years apart from Ratona. With that expression of his. Amazing, isn't he? He's much younger than I am. But he's been able to keep the company this huge running so well. So, do you mean he's the leader of a really huge organization? That he is. In terms of sheer scale, Zivites is the largest on the entire outer pole. Well, then, is there some kind of ceremony for these people to become leaders? Ceremony? Yes, a ceremony. It's not quite a ceremony, unless you're referring to promotion parties. Party? Is that a celebratory event? Oh, it's a celebratory event. Well, during our travels, we've heard about this country. Whenever they choose the next ruler, using a ceremony called the Path Down, they inherit all the predecessors' memories, experiences, and knowledge. It's a kind of culture wherein descendants of the next generation will be able to gain qualifications they need to be the next ruler. A path down that could heal many generations serves to bolster the strength of the country and also shows a strong unity with the citizens. Is that true? For someone so young to inherit such a large company, well, in this case he's qualified to be, so you need a ceremony like that, right? By inheriting knowledge, I take that you mean that educated and groomed by their predecessor. Educated, well, that's part of it, but it's not something as indirect. The experiences and knowledges are directly transmitted. Directly transmitted? Not via speaking, writing, or teaching, eh? There's no such thing, then. Us folk in the outer pole have to use words, speech, and more chronically for communication to convey what we're thinking or feeling. There's no other way for us to do so. It's possible for us to directly transmit knowledge, as you say. So I suppose in the outer pole culture there's no such ceremony to install leaders, as you mentioned. Why do you ask? Well, that's because we're wandering around different countries traveling to learn and study more about the world, you see. By experiencing all sorts of cultures, we like to expand our knowledge on the vastness of this world. That sounds quite an undertaking, especially considering the world's state of affairs lately. I envy you both. If it weren't for the other pole, I would love to travel the world as well. Oh, but I digress. Let's get back to the heart of the matter. For confirmation's sake, you said that Sarah introduced herself as Rune, correct? Yes. You knew about Rune, didn't you, Alice? Did I know her? We were like family up until she died. Rune and Rudo's father, Sid. We had been very good friends. Sid and I built Zivit's enterprise from the ground up. Impressive. He was quite an influential individual. Earthspan sure knows all sorts of people. Had been? Does that mean Sid is... He passed away about 3 years ago. But Rudo is still 22 years old. He must still be awfully young. A long story behind that. Well then, could you please tell us about the relationship between Rune and Sarah? Are they one and the same? Yes, we're completely in the dark about what's going on. Please tell us more about Sarah. Just who is she? Is that her real name? Her real name, eh? That name is a term we use in order to pertain to Sarah. As to whether it qualifies as a name, Well, I suppose that depends on your definition of what a name is. Judging by how you're referring to her, should we take it that you mean that she really is being treated as a slave? Excuse me? We're merely travelers and know nothing of the customs of this land. However, from where we come, treating people like that, like belongings, is something that should not ever be tolerated. So right now, we cannot even hide our astonishment regarding this state of affairs. I see you were born and raised in a very good country. But just to clear up any misunderstandings, I have to inform you that she is no slave. It was just a few decades ago that slavery was outlawed in this country. Although there are still some wretched folks out there who practice it in absolute secrecy. Then that makes even less sense. Why do you refer to her as if she were an object? Precisely because she is an object. You asked about our name earlier, yes? The word Sarah is a term to refer. It means synopsis, architectural review, and assessment. We took the first words of each name of the title of the report written up when she was first constructed. That's why it technically isn't a name, it's an acronym. What? Constructed? She's a robot! That doesn't make sense. Sarah was made? Sarah is a production of seven enterprise. The last president, Sid Survey, created to handle man-related tasks in the outer pool. Sarah is a machine. You must be joking. A machine? Although our company, Seventh Enterprise, is well known for our mana entry, conversion, and energy supply services. Wait a minute here. A machine? By machine, do you mean like a clock? Well, it's certainly a completely different dimension of complexity, but yes, in a sense, I suppose I do. With all due respect, I just cannot believe that. Well, I suppose most people wouldn't. Machines not possess sentience, do they? Whoever was with us yesterday was clearly sentient and had a strong sense of self. She was aware of her surroundings, knew right from wrong, exercised judgment, was able to display compassion for others. Intriguing. What would happen to be acquainted with philosophy? Not really. I would say I'm on the level of familiarity. When asked on the difference between what is and isn't human, being able to go straight to the question about the perception ability is proof that they're only thoroughly educated in these matters. Your homeland truly must be rich in a variety of aspects. I'm envious. Wait just a moment. In regards to your assertion that Sarah's a machine, all I can see is an excuse for you to treat her as you do now. Okay, we're gonna pause this episode here and get back to grilling Albus later. I hate that he has the name like Dumbledore's name, like Albus Dumbledore. Okay, see you in the next episode. Love you guys very much. Thank you for watching, and bye! Hey guys, this was Yashiroreaper, and thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified and join the notification squad. Also, check out my Teespring and Redbubble shops, links below, with my Tumblr, Tapastic, and Amino app name. Thank you for watching. Hit the Patreon icon to help me continue making cool content for you all. Love you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye!